Apple and Facebook have been in an advertising war for a few weeks now. Basically, if you didn't know, Apple included a feature in iOS 14 that gives more transparency to what data apps are using. And Facebook is long. Like, Facebook knows everything about you the first time you open the app, let alone learns about you when you interact with it. But Facebook isn't feeling the love with the new update and claims it'll crush small businesses because targeted ads help them. But targeted ads are what makes Facebook Facebook. That's how they make their money. They said it'll affect advertising for small businesses at 65%. But what they really mean is that it'll affect them at 65%. Facebook took it to the top news websites with these massive ads acting like victims. They called it Apple versus the free world, which I'm sure they're not talking about freedom because Facebook has nothing to do with freedom unless they're talking about the freedom to track you everywhere you go, which they probably shouldn't have the freedom in that case. The insane amount of data that Facebook collects every day has been a concern for a long time, but most people using the platform don't know enough about data farming that they will continue to use the app anyway. Facebook owns Instagram and WhatsApp as well. We know that Instagram and WhatsApp collect just as much data. I'm talking contacts, browsing history, text messages, location, and so much more. I don't exactly understand what Facebook is mad about though. If people understanding your business strategy affects business, then maybe you're doing something a little shady. So let's take a look at the new feature Facebook is so mad about. All that's doing is giving the users the choice to not be tracked. Doesn't seem like a big deal to me. Also, can we talk about the fact that it says ask app not to track? Like, what? Is the app just going to say, nope, sorry, we're just going to collect your data anyways? Tim Cook himself took it to Twitter to say, quote, "We believe users have the choice over their data that is being collected about them and how it's used. Facebook can continue to track users across apps and websites as before. App tracking transparency in iOS 14 will just require that they ask for your permission first," unquote. And that's pretty funny because, Facebook can continue to track you as before. That's obviously a shot at Mark, but Mark Zuckerberg eventually responded to Tim Cook saying, quote, "Apple products are expensive and not accessible to all people, while Facebook's products are. Why? Because the price you pay is your data, and because people have an unlimited amount of data that they just keep making every day." So Mark Zuckerberg doesn't want your money. Instead, he wants your data so he can sell it for money, which, Apple also added a feature to the App Store that will show you the data being collected before you download the app, which I personally think is only helpful to the old people that don't understand how the internet works. We all know that every app takes all the data it can get its hands on, and because data is basically money itself. Like, selling data is easier than selling drugs, let's be real here. Jokes aside, some of all these lists are actually quite concerning. Obviously, the worst of them being Facebook's own apps. Alright, so that's what's going on today. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something. Be sure to show some support, subscribe, all that stuff. Alright.